Hi students, in this video, we are going to discuss about decision-making statements in Java. Decision-making statements are also called control statements. Java compiler executes the code from top to bottom usually. The statements in the code are executed according to the order in which they appear in the program. The Java provides statements that can be used to control the flow of Java code. There are some statements available in Java which will make the flow of execution to be changed in order. Such statements are called control flow statements. It is one of the fundamental features of Java. It provides a smooth flow of program. There are three types of control flow statements. Decision-making statements. Further, it is divided into if statements, that is simple if statement, if-else statement, if-else if ladder, nested if statement, and also switch statement. The second type of control flow statements are loop statements. Loop statements are further divided into do-while loop, for each loop. The third type of control statements are jump statements. They are divided into break statement and continue statement. The flow of execution of a control flow statement would be usually in the middle of the program, we will give a condition based on the conditional code. The code is condition is true, the true part of the program will execute. If the condition is false, the else part of the program will execute. The decision-making statements decide which statement to execute and when to execute. It evaluates a Boolean expression and it controls the program flow depending upon the result of the condition provided. Boolean expression means true or false expression. So we will give an expression like A greater than B. It will be evaluated whether A is greater or B is greater. First type of statement, the if statement we will see. If statement. The if statement is used to decide whether a particular block of code will be executed or not based on a certain condition. If the condition is true, then the code is executed, otherwise not. Syntax for if condition, if statement. If of condition, then block of code should be executed. Suppose if the condition is true, the corresponding block will execute. The flow diagram is given here. For the conditional code, if the condition is true, conditional code will execute. Otherwise, control will move out of the condition code. There is an example program for if statement. There is a class called student. This is a Java program, so class is important. We have to have definitely a class. This class name is student. Inside that we have a main method. Main method is compulsory in Java. And in main method, we have two declarations. X and Y values are 10 and 12. And we are checking if X plus Y greater than 20 or not. Definitely it is greater than 20. The answer is 22. So 22 greater than 20, true. So the particular corresponding conditional code will execute. We will get an output X plus Y is greater than 20. Next conditional statement is if-else statement. If the condition specified is true, the if block is executed. Otherwise, the else block is executed. Syntax for if-else statement. If of condition is true, then statement 1 will execute, else statement 2 will execute. This is statement 1 means it is block of code. The flow diagram is given on the right side. The condition, if the condition is true, if block will execute. If the condition is false, else block will execute. Example program for if-else statement. There are two values, x is equal to 10, y is equal to 12. If x plus y less than 10, it is false because x plus y is 22. So else part will execute. In else part, we have the statement x plus y is greater than 20. Next is if else. So the if statement is followed by multiple else if statements or blocks. So it is a chain-like statements. We can create a decision tree by using these control statements in Java, in which the block where the condition is true is executed and the rest of the ladder is ignored and not executed. It will be having multiple condition checking, this if-else if statement. Any condition is true means that particular block will execute, all other blocks will be ignored. If none of the conditions is true, the last else block is executed if it is present. If of condition 1, that is condition 1 is true, statement 1 will execute. Else if of condition 2 is true, statement 2 will execute. Else the last statements will execute. The flow diagram is very clear here. For condition 1, true means if block will execute. If it is false, condition 2 will be checked. If condition 2 is true, that corresponding else if block will execute. Otherwise, the control will go and check the condition 3. If the condition 3 is true, that particular else if block will execute. Otherwise, it will go and check the next corresponding block condition. And next condition, if it is not there, the last else block will execute. Example program for nested if else if statement. That is student class and main method. Here we have a string data city equal to Delhi. If city equal to Meerut, we have to print city is Meerut. If city, else if of city is Noida, it should print city is Noida. Else if of city equal to Agra, it should print city is Agra. Else, it has to print the input city. Whichever city we have, it will print that city. Since our input is Delhi, it doesn't match any if statement, if condition. So the last else part will execute, it will print Delhi. The next if statement is nested if. Previously, we have seen if, else if, else statement. Now it is nested if. So in this, Java allows to nest control statements within control statements. Inside control statement, again, some more condition will be checked. The syntax for this is if of condition 1, if it is true, statement 1 will execute, and also condition 2 will be checked inside that condition 1. If condition 2 is also true, then statement 2 will execute. If condition 1 is false, the else part of condition 1 block will execute. So else part is statement 2 block will execute. So the flow diagram is given here like this. First one condition will be checked. If it is true, the second condition will be checked. And if it is true, the last nested if block will execute. If suppose the second condition is false, the nested else block will execute. If the first condition is true, it will go to second condition checking. If the first condition is false directly, then the else block of the first condition will execute. Example program, here a string is there, string variable address equal to Delhi, India. If address dot ends with of India, then if it is ending with India, then again one more condition will be checked. If address dot contains of Meerut, but address doesn't contain Meerut, so it will go to last else part for this. So here we have Delhi. The last else part for that first if condition is system dot first if condition is true here actually. So for that else block is you are not living in India. Suppose if in address doesn't end with India, then it will print you are not living in India. The last else part will execute. But here India is there. So inside India, we are checking whether the address is Delhi or not. If address is not Delhi, the previous else part will be executing. Address dot split off. It will say only the first part of the string, Delhi, India. before comma, whatever is there. Split method is used to split the given string into array of values. In this, Delhi and India will be separated as two array of values using comma. And since zero index is specified here, it will take the first array value Delhi. So output for us is here Delhi. Next decision making statement is switch statement. Switch statements are similar to if else if statement. That is we saw if else if continuously we will have else if statement. It is similar to switch is similar to it. Switch statement contains multiple blocks of code called cases. Each case will be checking a condition. A condition will be checked, and if the condition is true, each case will have a value. That particular value block will execute. A single case is executed based on the variable which is being switched. The switch statement is easier to use instead of if-else if statements. It also enhances the readability of the program. Cases cannot be duplicated. In switch statement, there are some restrictions. Cases cannot be duplicated. So if you have case 1, again case 1 block cannot come. Default statement is executed when any of the case doesn't match the value of expression. It is optional. Sometimes we will not have default statement in the switch block. Break statement is needed to terminate the switch block when the condition is satisfied. It is optional. If it is not used, the next case will also be executed. While using switch statement, we must notice that the case expression will be of the same type as the variable. So the case, in switch case, in switch expression, we will check a condition. The output should be similar to the case value. However, it will also be a constant value. An syntax is given here. Switch off some condition expression. That expression result will be checked with case value 1. That expression result is equal to value 1. This case value 1 block will execute, and break will stop the execution of the switch statement. Control will move outside the switch statement. If suppose the expression result is equal to value 2, case value 2 block will execute. So compiler will check which value is equal to the expression result. On the right side, we have the flow diagram. So we will start the code and switch off expression. We will check the expression result. If that result matches case 1 block will execute. If case 2 matches, case 2 block will execute. Case 3 matches, case 3 block will execute. If there are no cases matching, if we have default case in our code, then default case block will execute. Example program here, there is a variable called weekday. It accepts one integer value. The value which is passed will be converted to integer using the integer wrapper class. Here, that weekday, suppose after it is converted to integer, that value is 1 means the result will be expression result is switch expression 1. So case 1, for case value 1, we have one print statement here. It will print Sunday and it will break. If there is case 2 is suppose input weekday is 2, it will go to second case and it will print Monday, and the block will be, the switch statement will be stopped by giving break statement there. So from 1 to 7, we can give the values. If we give any other value apart from 1 to 7, the default statement will execute. It will say invalid day. So answer, if we give 5, the answer, it will print Thursday. Here we have seen the decision-making statements in our video. And what are the decision-making statements we saw here is if statement, simple. In if statement, we saw simple if statement, if-else statement, if-else-if ladder, and nested if statement. And we also saw switch statement in the decision-making statements. Thank you.